Hola, ¿qué tal? Bienvenidos de vuelta a jugamos a Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. Acaban de llevarse al Fino a Alice, precisamente, y nos quieren quitar las provisiones. Quién sabe qué queremos, pero bueno, Tucker nos va a ayudar, pero Julius, como que no quería, pero poco te vamos a dar nuestras provisiones, me imagino. Entonces, van a llevar unas armaduras y vamos a ver qué nos dicen. Vamos a ver qué es lo que pasa. ¡Ah! ¿A dónde quería ir? ¿Su casa? Parece su casa.
This is my home. Our home. At least it was until that night. I was with Lord Quintus when the capital fell, and thus spared. My family, who did not own a radio, were less fortunate. When dawn came, I made my way here. My parents, my little brother and sister, they were still inside.
Todos murieron.
But they weren't themselves, and they
Los
tried
mató
to.
a todos.
And I had to. I'd promised to take them away from the capital that very morning, to somewhere safe, to hide until the fighting stopped. I promised. The Garlean flag bears a chain, the bonds between our countrymen. A red link at its center, the blood of the fallen. Our loved ones who lived and died for Garlemald. But if she too fell, who would be left to remember them and their sacrifice? What enduring proof would there be that they were ever here? If we had turned to your gods, would they have saved us? Sorry, I forget I spoke. We should go.
It's no use.
Tienen frío.
Believe me, I do not enjoy being here any more than you. But she wanted us to play along, so that is what we will do.
Júntense, hermanos. Está muriendo de frío. Siempre la arman primero.
so cold.
Painfully so. Unbearably.
Hace mucho frío.
I've been thinking about what Quintus said. About why no one would accept Garlean rule. Irreconcilable differences. When coexistence isn't an option, only conquest remains. Varys at Gimlet said much the same. Only by uniting the world beneath a single standard would we rid ourselves of the Ascians. United as one people. One race cleansed of imperfections.
Suena muy nazi.
Cold and unforgiving vision. And when we fail to live up to their standards, what place is there for us in their world?
Al no ser tan perfectos como en esa misma.
But the truly sad, truly frustrating thing is how damnably similar it all is to the lofty ideals of Father and the Forum. Non-intervention. Always non-intervention. Protect our knowledge and our people, and to hells with the rest of you. And yet, I can see how it happened. Varys and Father looked to their elders for guidance and took their virtues as their own. But for this world was of their making. In who else could they place their trust?
Sí, somos un molde de nuestros padres.
All of us lost in a sea of chaos. Searching desperately for purpose and meaning. But it shouldn't just be an extension of another's. It has to be ours. It has to be. We all have a stake in this world. No one should be silenced.
I won't deny that we lack the experience of people such as Father or Quintus. Perhaps they've come to see the world as a series of problems, and the most efficient way of solving them, to reduce everything to fundamental forms. A stone is a stone, a cloud, a flower, no more than that. Simple descriptions that strip the subject of distinguishing characteristics. A man is a man, divided according to race, creed, or allegiance, and to some, defined by such associations.
Is that what you think?
In my misbegotten youth. But what I believed wisdom was no more than aggressive ignorance. I've since learned to look beyond the banners and the politics, to see people as individuals with their own hopes and dreams. As for my dream of building a better world, well, every day I'm reminded that it is far more complex than I had ever imagined. But it only spurs me onward, to find the wisdom and the strength to see it through to the very end.
All of our supplies and an immediate withdrawal. These are your conditions.
Demands. And you forgot about the airship. Once again, you will leave one behind. It will be used to return the prisoners. Their collars will be removed prior to the exchange.
So in the end, not even Father's expertly worded rhetoric could deter you from your chosen course.
Huh?
Ya carecía. Dice.
Not that I thought for a moment that it would. I've no love for violence, of course, but ours is a cause worth fighting for. I just wish he'd realize it too. Sometimes the only way to protect the ones you love is to take a stand, to refuse to suffer in silence. I want you to know I share your conviction. Whether it be on the battlefield or in the debating chamber, I won't back down. I guess what I'm saying is...
You've found your own reason to fight.
Yes. Yes, I have. God's willing, there will come a day when we can finally lay down our arms, and there will be peace. but not until the Telophoroi have been defeated once and for all.
Suena complicado. Pero
And
bueno.
you, brother, will have a vital part to play. By your words and deeds, you'll lead the way.
I pray I am up to the task.
Esa dead flag del trailer.
There'll always be naysayers. Those who think us fools for even trying. It's easy for learned elites to criticize earnest efforts and assert their moral superiority, all without offering alternatives. Not that their sophistry has ever wounded you. So stubborn and strong. Stronger than you even know. Don't ever change, you hear me? If you stumble, I'll be there to catch you. Or give you a thick ear. Maybe both, for good measure.
Hermanos.
Thank you, Alice.
Ya los van a sacar. Ah. The Azure Dragon. Ya, están liberados.
The scouts have secured Alizé and Alphino. Their collars were removed without complication as well.
Qué pendejo. La neta, se lo van a poner como camote.
They report no casualties, not for their party nor the guards, who will wake from their premature slumber in due course.
It would appear the situation has changed. I propose new terms. We have information that will be of great interest to Lord Quintus, and I wish to speak with him in person.
¿Qué va a hacer?
No. In the event you rejected our first proposal, we came prepared with a second.
La armadura, los Magitex. Guerra, como siempre. Se gastaron lo de su...
We, the loyal soldiers of the first
Y lo vamos a matar.
proud servants of Garlemalde, of the fallen Emperor Varys, shall safeguard these lands from the barbarian hordes until our countrymen return!
¿Quién lo va a matar?
Stop, both of you!
Tiene que ser el White Mage.
This child may be the worst emissary I've ever seen.
Genial. Y Lucia se le está
We
viendo.
received an urgent communication from the Grand Company of Eorzea. Envoys from the Imperial Army, led by members of the 10th Legion, came to Alamigo and requested an audience.
Se quieren unir, ya los dejaron a su suerte.
They explained that their efforts to coordinate the reclamation of the capital with the aid of the 4th, 5th, 8th, and 12th had ended in failure. Communication between most legions has broken down entirely. Most of the 10th's conscripts have deserted, leaving their forces severely depleted. That is why, unable to continue the fight on their own, they and their allies turned to the Grand Company of Eorzea for aid.
De los que van a llegar a salvarlos.
Lies! Every word!
It is the truth, and I have not finished. The 10th has requested that we deliver a message to Lord Quintus.
Ah, mira, ese es el mensaje que les quería llevar.
Have the ill stand down.
You have been listening, my lord? What are your orders?
Estándar.
Inform her.
Sí, ya no tienen nada. Nada más se van a mover. Ya, por lo menos se calmó.
Bereft of hope, and now dignity. I release you from your duty.
Ya.
All of you.
Sálvense. Orden recibida. Vámonos. Corriendo.
I take solace, your radiance, in the knowledge you are not here to witness our debasement. 'Twas a grand, glorious dream we shared.
¿Se va a matar?
Of a world united, of peace and prosperity.
Tiene letra,
We
lyrics.
are ghosts, you and I, memories of days gone by.
¿Se va a matar?
Bonds forged in blood that I will not see tarnished.
O se va a convertir en un primal. A ver si no llega Fandanel a joderlo. No va a llegar Fandanel. No, no llegó.
Quickly! We have to reach the station before it's too late.
¡Ay! Todos están.
If there is still a chance that Quintus will agree to a truce, we must take it.
I just hope we get there before he and his men do something rash.
Sí. Está buena la historia. A mí me gustó. No puede ser. Voy a hacer esto Fate. Color Gemstones. Es que podría, pues ya a estas alturas. Parte no es trabajo. Eso es ahí, ¿no? Sure Fate. Dice Retrieving Data. Sí, no, la verdad es que nunca lo hice. Garlemaldeanos. Creo que tienen que ser del mismo. Lo más importante son los mapas. No moverse rápido. Vi que alguien estaba atunado, entonces me imagino que va a pasar ya ahorita. ¿Dónde está? Arriba. ¿Cómo me sale? Aquí está. ¿Por qué no sale en el mapa? Señor Quintus, señor Quintus. No, fueron ustedes. Que no. Lo dejo. Moral is down. Ya no tienen. ¿Y esto quién es? No, es de... lo sé. Dramatically increase. No. Oh, ENG. Primero que ver alguno que diga que no. No creo llegar. Soy 5, 78. Vamos a ver si llego. No, no los vi. Ya se me acabó. Ahí está. Vamos a hacer Everlasting Flights. Siempre es cada 2 minutos. Dun, 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 dun. Dame un segundo. Voy al sanitario, pero listo. Vamos a ver, entonces. Es raro, ¿no? Que el villano de 3 expansiones así, de repente se destruyó solo. Digo, se ve que cambiaron a la persona que escribió la historia. Y probablemente sea una mejor historia, siendo honestos. Pero, miren, Liz. Pero aún así, la liberación del amigo y todo, pues, como que meh. El bardo, Sirina, aunque sola. Liz ya hay un personaje terciario. Qué mal. ¿Es el Yela? ¿El Yele? ¿El Yele? Es que les digo, ellos no podemos usar magia.
Is that all of them?
The last of those who agreed to join us, yes.
We left heaters and provisions for those who wish to stay behind. They won't last forever, but hopefully they'll last long enough.
For now, I think everyone's earned a rest. We'll see to those in need of medical attention, so take the others with you and get yourselves some hot soup.
Se ve chida la armadura. Es él, ¿no? Alberic, su maestro. Y el pasado Surturkun. Malin. A ver si no se vuelve loco o algo.
Worms. At last.
Marvelous, isn't it? All thanks to the resourceful machinists of Ishgard, I might add. On their behalf, I bid you warm yourself to your heart's content.
Hold on. Your people might have scribbled a few things on a piece of parchment,
But it was Owl and Minson Smiths that put the bloody things together.
Well, be that as it may, we single-handedly got the interior heating up and running again, didn't we?
Ya creció.
The hells you did! We were there every step of the way.
We? You barely raised a finger to help, you ale-sodden reprobate.
I did a damn sight more than you lily-livered bilge rat.
Take that back!
Take that back!
Mate.
Never!
I will not stoop to your level.
Here.
At ease, man. There's nothing funny in it.
Es complicado, pues es un cambio completo de vida.
I'm from Alamigo, but was a conscript until recently. Used to eat this with the officers.
Apparently, it's adapted from a steppe recipe. This is my first time trying it, and I have to say, it's not half bad.
It's a bit too flavorful for my liking.
Perhaps compared to what you're used to.
Calentito. Le va a matar a alguna tontería.
It's the little things that make life worth living, don't you think?
Bueno, no lo va a matar.
I know this is not a dream, and yet...
Sick, Lucia.
I felt the same way at the Dragon Song War's end. Every morning I would step outside and need to be reminded that it wasn't my imagination, that my world had been forever checked. And just as I had grown accustomed to the idea, again you change my world in ways I never thought possible. Were it not for you and your fellow scions, the rifts between man and dragon and myriad tribes might never have been bridged. The Grand Company of Eorzea, the Ilsabard contingent.
¿Quién sabe por qué no salió ni Hien ni... Ah, bueno, no. Ah, mire, ya salió. Solo que se me quedó. Pero Hien no ha
Shed
salido.
many tears in recent
Ni
days,
Yugiri.
of pain and sorrow, triumph and joy.
I much prefer the latter.
Indeed, we can but do our utmost to unite these disparate peoples and lead them to victory.
Pues ya habían avanzado para no más llevar un dungeon. Ya debería estar en el segundo.
It is a remarkable achievement. Everything that I and the Populares had hoped for, and more.
Would that it had come sooner.
Indeed. Too many are not here to see it. And yet, the little warmth in my breast, as if they still share in this moment.
Yes, I know what you mean. On a night like tonight, the wind and cold seem to pass me by.
La luna, la luna. Bueno, un momento vamos a tener que hacer la nave espacial. Para ir a... flor. Azul. Ah, el sentimiento es. ¿Qué era? Arce. H. En lugar de Ither era. Algo. Algo. Los va a transformar. Lo está protegiendo, ¿no? No tiene protector. Va a empezar a matar como loco. Eso fue lo que pasó. Todos los refugiados que se llevaron. No mames. Se van a poder matar como locos. Maldita.
My lord has requested your presence, and I would hate to disappoint him.
What? ¿Me llevó? Bueno, tienen las madres esas. Pero. Ah, de ser la escena del trailer. Donde estamos ahí en el piso.
The experiment was a success, but I fear our time is short. I shall begin the preparations.
Pueden convertir a todo mundo en
Now,
persona.
it is time for you to awaken.
What the fuck?
Good morrow to you. Here, have a taste before it gets cold. Oh, but be sure to remove your helmet. Take a moment, too, to familiarize yourself with that borrowed flesh.
El Quintus. El cuerpo, este debe ser. Ah, no.
So, how does it feel? I, for one, find those first moments within a new body to be most refreshing. We had a Magitech engineer by the name of Aulus to thank for this method of soul extraction and implantation.
Hicieron soul
I
extraction.
believe the two of you met briefly in Alameda.
Sí, es él.
His was a rather sticky end, wasn't it? Thankfully, he was thoughtful enough to leave behind his mind-jack technology. I took the liberty of making some improvements and selecting you as my esteemed test subject. And permit you to go on a righteous rampage instead of partaking in this delicious meal? I think not. I must say, I've gone to great lengths to reunite you with my lord. When I discovered that his friend was in this neck of the woods, I suggested inviting you over for dinner. He never deigned to respond, but I took his silence as a resounding yes.
What the fuck? ¿Qué tiene ahí adentro?
Oh my! Daddy is pleased his grumpy little boy has finally found his playmate.
¿Daddy?
Ah, exposition is in order. The Garlean Empire has long outlawed all forms of religion. No gods to worship, no risk of summoning. Brilliantly simple. But people being people must turn to something or someone in their hour of need. Who then? Why, His Radiance the Emperor, of course.
¿Varys? Ah, no,
As
las
you have
copias
observed
solos.
firsthand, Garlemald has seen better days. The legendary Solus Osgalvus, dead. Provinces near and far in open rebellion. Our bold new emperor assassinated. And that last one even sparked a civil war. What rotten luck. The people cried out for salvation. Their earnest pleas, one might even call them prayers, a supplication united for the Empire to reclaim her former glory. And so their will did manifest, channeled through the corpse of none other than Emperor Varus himself.
Así es Varys entonces.
And lo, the Savior was born, the embodiment of the Guardian
Ah,
Spirit,
Anima es
their
Varys.
anima.
Órale. Ay, Anima de hacer el trial.
It calls to its subjects, compelling them to take up arms.
Es la voz que oían entonces.
And just as the wealth and power gravitate towards the Empire's capital, so too does ether from every corner of the globe. The towers with which you and your allies have been so preoccupied were created as an extension of Anima itself. An ingenious design. Would you not agree, my lord?
Sigue ignorándolo.
Does the pursuit of prey you have bested before excite you? Of course not. Absent the challenge, the thrill, your prize is a hollow victory. Butchery.
¿Cómo camina?
Perhaps you think that to be the extent of my promise. I have no doubt fallen in your estimation since Alamigo. Fair enough. But do not let your disdain deprive us of an opportunity to craft an even more majestic moment of euphoria. I have been honing my craft as I set the stage for our reunion. Wheresoever there is suffering and despair, you appear.
You appear to be the defender of this star. Ah, es lo del trailer.
The chaos and destruction that my hordes have wrought are my gifts to you alone.
¿Mancana o cómo? Ah, y él. Ya las.
At a loss for words? No matter. As you will learn, I have only just begun.
Oh, will you not finish your meal?
There is only one thing that can sate my hunger. And it would seem my friend has lost her appetite.
Ah, la va a molestar. O va a...
I hoped this display of civility might prove an entertaining diversion. But clearly we are above such pretensions. While my lifeless body was in the possession of the Cassian, I too claimed another's.
¿El soldado ese?
It was an enlightening experience to fight in an unfamiliar field. Flaws and failings in my technique were plain to see. Whence rises one's true strength? The flesh? The soul? Perhaps you should like to discover the answer for yourself.
Ah, está mi cuerpo. ¿Se va a meter en mi cuerpo? What the fuck?
Oh dear! Whatever would happen if my lord were to greet your friends as you? I shudder to imagine what carnage.
Está bueno.
We'd better hurry if we want to avert the bloodbath. You can thank me later for my generosity. Your camp, I believe. If I were to hazard a guess, I would say that you, the other you, is making her way there as we speak.
No, el trail va a ser yo mismo, contra mí mismo.
Alas, this you will have to walk from here, or run if you can manage it. My lord would be cross if I made it too easy. Such ingratitude. I'd not squander this fighting chance. After all, you've obstacles enough to overcome. Right on cue?
Uh-oh.
Tempered soldiers, with standing orders to kill those not sworn to anima. Under normal circumstances, you would make short work of them. But on this occasion, the odds are not so heavily stacked in your favor.
No, está. Asumo que va a tener que ir. Bueno, voy a terminar aquí porque justo cumplimos una buena cantidad. Inmediatamente voy a continuar en vivo y el próximo video entonces nos vemos, ¿vale? Cuídense mucho y nos vemos pues. Hasta luego.